People are strange. Strange. Fucking strange.
Is that strange?
That is strange.
Strange.
That is strange.
Wow, that is strange.
This is strange.
And welcome back to another episode of Strange Sauna. You guys, this Charlie Kirk thing just isn't going away. No one's buying that this is Tyler Robinson. He shows up to court in just a still frame in a Zoom call. His latest appearance in the courtroom, you didn't even get to see him. It was just a picture or a video of the judge, right? Mm-hmm. Now you have Candace Owens leading like full-throated investigation into scrubbing Instagram accounts, looking at firsthand witnesses. Phil Lyman, the Utah politician that we're going to kind of talk about tonight. There's a lot. Flex, what do you think, dude?
Oh, the fact that we're 4 episodes deep and there's still so much.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't surprise me, but you guys had a lot going on this week. You had a government shutdown. Last weekend, I think you guys had someone drove a car into a church and killed people.
Yep.
Someone shot someone on patio with from a boat and stuff like that. I'm just like, holy shnikes, what's going on there? But I'd like to take
turning
this
point, man.
Yeah. I'd like to take this opportunity, though, to thank everybody for my 50th birthday wishes, which was Tuesday.
Woohoo!
It was a great day. Somehow Dexter and Greg figured out how to get everybody on a surprise Zoom call on my own computer, which I was
there we
like,
go.
what?
Hey, that's a hard thing to do. And we freaking pulled it off. Okay.
You did. And the thing is, Dex is like, oh, I need your computer. I have a work meeting to do. And they arrived because we were going to go bowling or go do something for my birthday.
Yeah.
And 2 seconds later, he goes, I can't figure out your computer because of the mic and everything. And I go and I see my screen is on and I see like 20, 30. At the time, there was like 30 people. And the only name that I saw right in the middle of the screen was Richard.
Yep.
And I'm looking at it going,
Richard.
Dex knows Richard. Like Richard works for this company that we work for. And meanwhile, Richard had his camera off. Everybody had their camera up. And it was awesome. Everyone sang me happy birthday. I got a PS5. I got a couple new hats. You know, I got my new Halloween little mug here. Look.
Oh, boy. That's Mike Myers, baby.
Yeah. Anyways, other than that, let's get to it.
Yeah, let's get to it, man. So right after we got off, there was a couple new videos of the guy in brown. So the guy in the brown shirt. Now, if everybody's wondering where the video I made about our video about the guy in the brown shirt, Instagram banned it, TikTok banned it, Facebook. I mean, so they don't want us talking about something for a reason. And it's just a theory. Like we made it very clear in the video that I made. I said, this is just a theory. We don't know what's going on. But the story that the FBI is giving us is not real. I mean, nobody is buying the gun. I mean, it doesn't even the wound doesn't match what a 30-06 bullet would look like. Right. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, there you should just say, OK, something doesn't add up here. Right. So we need to look for alternative answers.
And it's strange because you've done videos before on stuff and why this one got taken down.
Right.
And you had, like you said, there was like 800,000 views on it, almost 1 million views on it.
Yeah.
And it was just like, boop, taken off. I was like, wow, they're coming for you, Greg. They can't come for me. I'm in the mountains in another country.
Well, I will say it won't, it's not the first time. I mean, it's not my first rodeo dealing with censorship. And,
that's true. Look what happened to your other podcast, right? So,
yep. So I do want to show this video because this was kind of like this alternate viewpoint here. I think this is the one that shows how the guy in the brown shirt has something in his hand. And I want to see if we can kind of see what this is.
Yeah.
So
I sent you like a really clear video of it.
Yeah, I think I have that on
Instagram.
Yeah.
And you can see him counting down.
Yes.
Like he's counting. And I'm like, oh, he's got gold glasses like me. Uh-oh.
Yeah, dude. Flex, he's your brother. He's your twin right here.
I'm a fan. And I also saw my doppelganger that you guys posted too, which he does look like me.
Doesn't he? So check out this video here. Here we go.
Awesome. Oh, go, keep going. Yeah.
As the trigger man is seen activating a remote detonator perfectly synchronized with the explosion. Literally at the exact same time as the gunshot noise. So this pretty much convinced me that this theory is quite compelling and needs to be seriously investigated.
Mormons have more kids than they can afford.
So
Here
right
you have the shooter signaling to someone else saying, 5 minutes until the shot. And look carefully who is watching the signal.
So he raises up his hand. He goes like 5, right?
Goes 5.
And this guy over here, that's his
the black shirt.
Yeah, security detail guy. And then he turns.
And he was wearing Meta sunglasses, right?
Yeah, he turns them on, or he like clicks on something.
Turns them
Watch
on,
again.
and then I think he turns it off when he goes behind Charlie after he gets shot.
I think it's time for Mormons.
Here the man in the blue shirt turns on his video glasses.
Right
I
there.
only know this because I have the same glasses.
Stuff.
A minute later, he signals 4-minute mark.
He goes 4 with his fingers, right?
Yeah.
Here he looks over to see if Tyler Robinson is on the roof in position, then fixes the detonator on his left shoulder bicep.
Look at that. He has something on his like shoulder.
Yeah. It's like back in the day when your dad would have the pack of cigarettes pushed up onto the sleeve.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. It's square.
Look carefully at the bulge on his shoulder.
Right there. Look at that.
Yeah. I mean, either he's doing a lot of lateral raises to get that side delt to pop.
I mean, that's
or
like
he's-
that's not the side delt you want, bro. I mean, that is
No, that's a little messed up. But
Yeah, that's
there is
very
something
messed
under
up.
there is something under there, you know.
right. It's not smooth.
But
This is not smooth
No.
how it should look.
But his hand command and gestures is very interesting.
Yeah.
Because he does do a 5 and a 4. And
Yep.
like I said, I don't think the person on the roof took the shot. I think it was just a decoy or
Right.
whatever. But
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why they're not showing the video footage of the actual shot from the roof being fired, right?
of
Here we
course
go.
not.
Let's keep playing this.
Around the world. I love how polite you are. I have my team is Mormon. Terrell's a Mormon. Andrew's a Mormon. Mormons are great. So everything I say, everybody, I'm an evangelical Christian.
The assassin
We're gonna
now
have fun.
points his watch outwards and tells everyone to watch the time.
So see,
Yeah, that's
what is
weird.
he holding on to?
It looks like you know how you have a pencil, you have a pen that has the clicker at the top for
Yeah.
the pen like that. Looks like something that he can click with his thumb, you know, like a detonator,
Yes.
or it's a microphone or something. But
Yeah, he might be
I don't see
talking
any
into it or
wire.
something, right?
Yeah, he might be talking into it. But that hand gesture and showing the watch is very interesting. And again, it could be the mic could be used as a detonator to kill him, or it's to set off the squib. Like I
Yeah.
don't think he was shot. I don't think he was shot. Not from the roof.
Well,
You
let's,
know.
let's see here.
Then a few minutes later, we know what happened.
Right. So, I mean, that whole video, I don't know. That just like is a brand new video viewpoint that I had
Yeah.
never seen before, right? Like this, there
Yeah.
was something literally on his shoulder. Now,
Yep.
if he was security detail, and I did upload a full HD video of the guys rushing behind the scene, like rushing behind
Mm-hmm.
the table. That's all in HD on Telegram. So everybody go sign up on Telegram. Strange Sauna Conspiracies.
Yeah.
Just search for it
They
on
don't
Telegram.
take our shit off there yet. So
Right.
Telegram seems to be pretty safe right now.
Yep. Yeah, and there's a link in
Yeah.
this video. There's a link in the audio too. But in that video, you can see this man in the brown shirt. He is wearing a wire over his ear, so he is definitely part of some sort of intel team. I don't know, and maybe that whatever bulge on the shoulder is the audio source or the whatever source for. I just don't know. But why would you put it right in your shoulder pad, dude? Just it looks weird.
Yeah, like, well, I'll tell you why. It can't be in the pocket because it could go off if he was to bend or turn. So on the arm, it's very straight because nothing can hit it. Like you wouldn't have it here because if you squeezed your arm, it would go off in your pocket. So yeah, definitely here. If he was wearing long sleeves, he could have had it just on the sleeve like this. But that's why it's in a safe spot for it not to be activated.
Right.
And but it's big. Like it looks like he's got 2 packs of cigarettes, like I was saying, popped in there. Like
Yes.
you know,
Yeah, it's
pretty
not
big.
smooth. It doesn't look like a normal shoulder delt. I mean,
No.
maybe if you had some sort of weird injectable and like it's all weird.
Yeah,
But like,
but I've seen bodybuilders that inject synthol into their shoulders, it
Right.
just goes this way. His was going outwards.
yeah,
First of all, he's not injecting anything, and he's not a bodybuilder.
yeah,
He's a black ops. You know, he's
He's
working
something.
for somebody.
Something.
Either he's working for Charlie and Charlie's being protected, or he's not working for Charlie and Charlie needed to be silenced.
yep.
It's those
Well,
two things.
Either way, Charlie Kirk is no more. There was another video that was going viral that I kind of want to talk about because it's like a debunked thing, but like this guy went to the Dairy Queen and it was supposedly abandoned, right? So he went to this Dairy Queen and he was showing everybody this video here.
Well, we're at
Right? And he's saying like, hey, we're here and it's abandoned.
1545. Is that a Dairy Queen sign? Interestingly enough, it looks like it's been totally taken apart. Got cleaning mop buckets everywhere and so forth. And it's right across, by the way, from Brigham Young University, right across from the stadium. Right? So my point is there's the football stadium. There's cameras all over here. The FBI should be able to easily say what the path was for Robinson to get to the airport.
Yeah, so this guy, a lot of people were commenting on the video like this was the Dairy Queen in Provo, not in Orem. So he is showing you 1545. This is a Dairy Queen address in Provo, which is not where the photo was taken of Tyler Robinson.
Are both these Dairy Queen in Utah?
They are, yes.
They are?
And they're about the same distance from UVU campus. And so like
interesting.
everybody
Okay.
was kind of like sharing this video and saying like, bro, did you see the Dairy Queen? They wiped that shit out just like they did Charlie Kirk's assassination spot, right?
That's crazy. Why? Why mess with Dairy Queen? Come on.
But that's not true though. So like that's the whole point is that the guy did put out a corrected video. He goes, hey, I made a mistake and here's the actual Dairy Queen. It's still open.
Okay.
He went there on a Sunday. It wasn't open for him to like actually go in and explore, but I've seen other like Cassidy Campbell. He's like a popular YouTube guy. He went to the actual Dairy Queen. He went inside. The Superman poster was missing. And that's just an odd thing too, because like Superman wasn't, I don't think in theaters during the time that Charlie Kirk was assassinated, was it?
No, unless it was an old photo, unless it was AI. Like, remember, like they're changing a lot of stuff. I think this is why this is never going to be answered in anything going forward. Is they're really using AI right now to change stuff. Like the shirt that you put in your video where they AI'd it and made it look like it was a MAGA shirt. You know, they can change it. So we're in a little trouble with that kind of stuff because now, like, we'll never know. We'll never know. You know,
Right. Well, and then also everybody has to remember that the person who disclosed that picture of Charlie or Tyler Robinson at Dairy Queen was Candace Owens. Okay. And like, however you feel about Candace Owens, it's just, it really, she could be good. She could be bad, but like, how did she get this photo? Who did she get the photo from? And even here, like you have this picture, it's showing 1545. I don't even know if that's the right address.
right,
But like, how did she get that photo? Right.
right.
So we always have to like ask these questions.
How did she get possession or access to see the camera behind Charlie? You know, as well. You know.
Yeah. Well, and so that was another thing that I shared on Telegram too, because it's interesting. She was saying that when she watched that footage, because like she knows everybody at Turning Point apparently, and she was saying that she knew the guy that they were blaming for like taking down the footage.
Right.
And she said like she talked to him and he showed her the footage, you know? And so like you just have to like, it's all secondhand sources. And that's what I hate about this whole like Candace Owens investigation. Like, yes, it's nice to hear the story, but it's just a story until we see the proof, bro, you know?
Right.
And she's even saying like, I don't know why they're not showing this footage, because the number one thing, the first thing that she noticed was the lack of blood. She said there is absolutely no blood.
She did say that.
Right.
And there would be a lot of blood. Blood would have been exit or entrance room. Blood would have been spraying and going everywhere, you know, especially if it's a carotid artery. Like, wow.
Right.
You know, I know a lot of the video stops when he falls over and stuff. But again, she's saying that's what she saw. I believe she's a Mason. I believe she's part of this. So
yeah, that's what
she's probably giving us enough information to appease us. So we'll talk about it, get the numbers up, get people watching, and then probably I would say by next week or the week after, Charlie will just be forgotten. Like, you know, I think unfortunately they'll go on to the next psyop.
Dude, yeah, and they already are. I mean, it's it is like the turning point. You know what I mean? Like they're bringing in the digital ID. They're doing all this crazy stuff. But, you know, I don't know. It's just like one of those things where and maybe this whole thing is just a distraction to keep you from looking at that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or what's going on with your government and the government, you know, shutdown or stuff over in Israel, or it's everything. Dude. Hey, let's distract, let's anger, let's scare, let's pass this bill, let's do this, let's do that, so they don't let anything go to waste. As much as we make fun of these folks, they're psychopaths, but they're very, very patient and they are very smart, you know.
Absolutely.
To some degree. Like, this doesn't look smart to me how they've done this, but I think this is purposely done every week to throw something out just to get us to still be watching over here when we know over there something's happening.
Correct.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, just going back to that, the footage behind Charlie Kirk and why is Turning Point not giving that video, like releasing the video? And my thought, like, first off, like, I thought that video went to the FBI. So I thought that the intelligence agencies are in possession of that video. So how could Candace Owens physically watch that video? Right.
Yeah.
And then number two,
and the guy who owned the video or had possession of it, did he work for the FBI?
I mean, it's sure Turning Point, dude. So maybe
she might have said that, but like, you're right. Like, how did he get access to it? Because we were told it's in their hands, because he even said, the guy that took the footage climbing up on the chair, that dude said, I don't trust people.
Yeah.
There's very evil people in this world. And I was like, what? You know, strange shit. Strange.
I mean, that came out of the mouth of the guy who said that Charlie Kirk's neck stopped the bullet. So, I mean, I don't believe a word that guy says, that Andrew Klovac guy.
Yeah.
So
good call.
But and then that's the other thing, too, is like she physically said that there's no blood. So like from the footage directly behind Charlie Kirk's neck or head, when he gets shot and he falls over, she sees no blood. So that's why she's saying, I don't know why they don't put this out, because it's PG, bro. Like you literally just see him fall over and then everybody runs in. There's no blood. And so immediately I'm thinking, well, that's strange, because if he was shot from the front, you'd see a lot of blood spurting out the back, right? Because the exit wound is where all the blood comes out.
Right.
We saw a lot of blood coming out the front, indicating he was probably shot from behind somewhere.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Or we went through the exploding mic theory on the last episode. So if you guys haven't seen that, go check that out on the last episode. That is a contradicting thing, though, like the lack of blood from behind. Because I listened to another guy. He has 2 million followers on YouTube. I can't remember his name, but he did a full video on what he was told and what he, like, the evidence and all this stuff so far. And he said that every camera there was full 4K HD, right? And so he said that they have all the footage. It was handed over to the intelligence agencies, and there was a lot of blood, so they're not going to show it. He's like, they might use it in the courtroom, but you're never going to see that footage.
Yeah. And being in film, folks, 4K means 4 times the resolution. So you can zoom in and really punch in on a shot, you know, a photo or video, and you really don't lose any resolution. So 4K, you know, 1080 by 1920, which is what our shows are on TV and movies. 4K is like large enough that you could zoom right in and see everything. And the fact that we don't see any clear videos, the only clear one we saw was the one that we were just talked about with the guy with the detonator. That's the clearest that I've seen from anything so far.
Yeah. I posted that on Telegram, so everybody make sure to get on Telegram. So I do want to talk about what Candace Owens has been digging up, because she has a couple of leads that I found very interesting. And the main one that she's talking about is this, the Utah politician, Phil Lyman. All right. This guy here. And I guess hold on a second. So he is an American politician in Utah, blah, 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 blah. He's just a former politician. I think he ran for office in 2025 and he lost. But I mean, he's been around for a long time. His family owns a significant portion of land near UVU. So like all those houses next to UVU, his like aunt, his sister, brother, whatever, grandma, like all the Lymans kind of live over in that area. And from what I've been finding out here, or what Candace found out, supposedly, is that Phil Lyman was on the campus when Charlie Kirk got shot. And so he was there. I guess he doesn't even live near the campus. He lives about like 4 hours away, but he was on campus there for the event, probably like, you know, because he's a Republican, probably shaking hands with a lot of people, right?
I was gonna ask, is he a conservative Republican?
Right.
So obviously
so
there to support.
It would make sense for him to be on there, you know, just, you know, networking, doing whatever he had to do. I think the timestamp had him inside of one of the buildings around 12:23 or so. And then he started recording and was just walking very slowly, not shocked at all that there was a gunshot. And then he, you know what I mean? So he comes out, and then his story just is like kind of inconsistent on what's going on and where he was. He went on the Alex Jones show. So we can kind of show a little bit of this, and you can hear from his mouth on where he was and what he did. I'm not going to play this full 40 minutes, but just the first couple here. So
he came up here to the parking lot, got in the car with an individual, and they drove away. Well, that's not the story that came, so that he escaped another route. And there are people who are coordinating this thing. I do not believe that 30-06 that they showed recovered in the bushes was ever on the roof. I think it was in the bushes to start with. And now I'm not saying that Tyler Robinson wasn't on the roof. I'm not saying he didn't pull a trigger. I was in very, very close proximity. So another interesting thing, like I say, I left the front of the stage. I wanted to meet some of my friends and bring them down front. So I was clear at the east end, and I heard this loud boom. I heard this loud bang. And I turned around and I'm looking like, what was that? What was that? And pretty soon some people started, running. Everyone was trying to process. And I thought, this is a gunshot, and there's going to be more of them. I thought it could turn into a mass shooting. So I go to the people closest to me. Everyone's ducking down behind the concrete retaining walls, and some of them were still kind of oblivious, but there were 2 people that were standing there. 2 girls, very goth, very black, and I just walked, and I stepped up to the side of them, and I said, did that not happen right here? Did you hear that? Was that right here? And they said, yeah, it was just right over there. So they're confirming, yeah, the shooter or wherever that sound came from is right here. The thing that didn't really dawn on me is that they were not running. They were not frightened. In fact, as I stepped up, I heard one of the girls, and they were talking to each other, and they're looking at these kids, looking at the scene down below them of all these people fleeing for their lives. And she says, go F yourselves. And like I say, I was not processing that. I was trying to figure out what was going on. I thought this is a separate conversation. I don't know what it is. In hindsight, as I've watched that over and over, it's like these people were not afraid. If they're saying the shooter's right over here, he's right behind us.
Yeah, what about the guy that jumps up is going, yeah?
Okay. Yeah. So and then Alex Jones kicks in.
Alex comes in at like the highest decibel you could come in at.
Dude, it's like
Jesus,
chill, bro.
Murphy.
But yeah, so like I watched the video footage of him. So this is Phil Lyman coming out of the building. He's walking around. He's not looking shocked either. He walks up to a slew of people that are just standing over this balcony, and they're like, what the hell was that? Like, and they're looking at all these people running. The people who were running were out on the lawn, who were like actually in harm's way of another bullet, maybe, right?
Yeah.
And so all these people were on this covered kind of balcony. It was still open. Like you could still get shot there. And they were kind of like leaning up against it, kind of like ducking down. But I mean, he seems to kind of just imply that these girls, very goth, very black. What? Who says that? And then so like,
he does.
Right. And when you watch the video, yes, they're dressed in black, but they're not goth at all. They're just like normal, like, yeah, they're a little pudgy, overweight, but like they're not goth. I mean, like,
yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, he's trying to like imply, oh yeah, they said go F themselves. So like they obviously didn't care about these people, and they didn't care if they got shot. And like he's trying to imply that, you know, they're they had like an incentive for this whatever to happen. So he's kind of going all over the place telling stories. And then you see that this ring camera, remember the ring camera that shows Tyler Robinson walking with a limp, or not, maybe it's not Tyler Robinson. I don't think it is. It's somebody walking across this road, and the ring cam shows them walking with a limp, supposedly because they have the rifle down the pant leg, right?
Yeah.
So that ring camera was in front of Phil Lyman's aunt's house. So it's like, what are the odds that like you have Phil Lyman, he's there, he's really connected with this community, and then like one of the only video footage that we have of the killer walking with a limp is from his aunt's house.
From his aunt's house.
Right. And so and not only that, but he was there. So in the video footage, he points out, and then there's a Fox News clip we can watch here, but he parks his car at his aunt's house at 11:30. And 19 minutes later, Tyler Robinson or whoever walks by. So it's like, you were there, bro? Like the car, we can see your car in the video footage. Like, what are you doing there?
I really think they're just throwing shit out to get us to obviously talk about it, but really just now we're looking so far one way that I think it's done to really distract us and not look at other stuff. I don't know what this is. Like, it really is strange. Everything. That's
one way to say it. Yeah.
Strange. It's very, very, very strange. And it's just like, it's just, they're scripting too much on this over and over again, where I'm like, you need to go back, grab the script from the writers, do a rewrite, and make it clean. It's too late now, you know.
Yeah.
That clean script would be if it ever does come out and they're like, this is exactly what happened, but they're adding more and more to this, which just baffles me.
Well, and you know what's insane, Flex, is that this Phil Lyman guy in this video that I'm going to play, he goes, and I just can't believe the connections. This just seems like everything's lining up here. It's just so bizarre. I can't believe it. I'm like, okay, they're telling you. They're literally telling you, hey, everybody, there's connections.
He could be a Krysic actor. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, that's their job. Like, we know they use them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
So watch this. This is from Fox News, everybody. All right.
I don't like him either. He creeps me out a bit.
It's kind of creepy.
I do want to linger on a moment for what you just told us, and I'm going to ask the team to pull back up that surveillance footage that we've gotten from TMZ, from those neighborhood cameras. You said that in that footage is your driveway, and you parked there at 11:30 a.m. We know this footage that you're looking at was taken at 11:49 a.m. So you would have been on that street, that driveway, 19 minutes.
Right across. Yeah, it's not my driveway; it's my aunt's driveway. Parking lot was very full. He's walking in front of my aunt's house there right now, and my cousin's house is the driveway that is taking that photo, and my CRV, the gray CRV in the distance there that is my car. I parked there probably 10 minutes before he walked by, and I had not seen this footage till just now. And it just keeps so many things that keep linking up. It's really astonishing.
It's astonishing.
And then we went back to this house afterwards. They thought they had the shooter. So I took a friend of mine. We went back to my aunt's house and said, well, we'll just hang out here for a while. And before long, the people were combing the backyard, as you saw. She had the footage of that, and pretty soon helicopters are overhead. And so this is very, very local to me. Not only is it Utah, but it's kind of my neighborhood where I spent so much of my childhood and all of my relatives. Yeah. This is really astonishing. I got up yesterday morning at 6 o'clock to drive up and meet Charlie, and I haven't been to bed since then, because it's just one thing after another, and so astonishing that this could happen in Utah. And yeah, all of these things that are coming to light.
Yeah. You say this is local. I just want to point out, you can't get more local than your aunt's driveway, which is your gray CRV. I just want to try to gather some information right now. Do you know anything about the cameras beside? Have you observed ring cameras there? Do we think that there could be additional angles? We know the FBI was swarming your street when you went back to this location 2 hours later. What can you tell us about the camera situation, or anything you may know about what it's like to walk down that street?
So you've got the cameras that are on this side of the street that are taking the footage that you're looking at. On the other side of the street, they're older homes. They don't have any camera surveillance on the other side. So I think what you're seeing there, and I know he's my age. He's my first cousin. He lives in that house, and this is his ring camera. And really, I'm just like blown away right now.
I would be pretty blown away as well. The killer walked down that street 19 minutes after you were there, and you returned to that location. I believe it was 2:30 local time. So it would have been, correct me if I'm wrong, 2 hours after the shooting. When you came back 2 hours later, the FBI was swarming that street. Do you have any indication at what time the FBI and law enforcement got to that location? Because it seems like there's some pretty critical evidence to collect right in front of your aunt's driveway.
Yeah, we got there probably about 1:45 is about the time that we got back to her house. And it was a half hour, 45 minutes later that someone said, hey, there are military guys in the backyard. And National Guard was going up and down the street. And then I got a call from the person who owns this house, my cousin Sam. And he said, hey, I've got some connections to the military. They said, or to the police department. They said that there's maybe another suspect. So just lock the doors just in case. And of course, this was after the shooting. Just right there. And that would have been around 2:15, 2:30.
I see. Any indication? You mentioned another suspect. That's the first. We have no information to suggest there's another suspect. We also have no information to suggest that this is the only individual involved in this. Did you ever hear anything else from neighbors about seeing anything else suspicious right there in front of where your car was parked?
No, we were standing in that driveway for 15, 20 minutes talking, because we were under the impression that the shooter had been apprehended. And that's why they said, maybe there's a second suspect, but there wasn't. The first two that they arrested were, that didn't pan out. So I'm not suggesting there were two. I'm suggesting that the one that we thought was the one they had in custody was then released, and then the second one was released. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So what are the odds, Flex? And that's something I say way more than I should. But what are the damn odds that his cousin's ring cam captures this footage? You see him walking across the street from his aunt's house. His cousin lives there. His aunt lives across the street. We got grandma. Grandma's nearby too.
Why is he getting so much media time? Because of that footage?
Yes.
Like who is this guy other than that? Like, I just find he's doing the rounds. He's doing all the shows. And I'm like, is it just because of the video, or is there more to it?
Well, and he has connections, bro. And what you noticed is in that video, he did say he has a friend who said that this might be a military or a police thing, right? And that's what Candace Owens is really kind of thinking, is this is a military op. Like, she's straight up said it. Like,
yes, I think most of them are. I think most of them are, damn. But if she can, God bless her, if she can say that and give us some evidence and show us some stuff and not get whacked, or taken out. All right. I'm all for it.
Right.
I'm all for it.
Well, and then, we always have to say, is she just kind of, gatekeeper, right? You always have to look at that angle.
If you are on social media and on the news, you have to be part of this.
Right.
You really, like if we just got an 800,000 view video taken down, describing what a whole hour and a half podcast described about the guy, and we're getting taken, these people can say what they're saying. It's like, this is what I mean, right? It's like,
well, I mean, they do serve a purpose of being sued. And I know that Phil Lyman did post a video like pushing back against this whole Candace Owens thing. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to, like, she's going to be talking to my lawyers soon, right? Because like she's putting out all this kind of accusations. And then it doesn't stop here, bro, because it gets deeper. Like there's a lot of strange things that all tie back to Phil Lyman. And it's not just like one or two. It's like really significant things here. Right. Yeah. So like that was the only footage that we had of the shooter walking with a limp comes from Phil Lyman's family. Right.
And doesn't later on you see him running the other way behind the houses?
Yes.
Is that afterwards?
It is.
And why is he running? Why is he running back the other way? So he's heading one way and then he decides, was he being chased at that time?
Don't know.
Do we know?
So that is is the person who dropped off the roof. Remember the camera, the footage of the FBI shows the man dropping off the roof.
Yeah.
And then that is the subsequent film that we see. It's the same ream cam, but you see him, like you said, going the opposite way.
Right.
This photo right here of this guy walking down the stairs, the guy in the black shirt, right? The infamous photo. These were like the first photos that the FBI released. Just focusing on the bottom two photos here. The guy in the black shirt.
He looks way taller than Tyler. Just even that fold, like
right. Well,
that shoulders taller.
That photo was provided by the mother of Tiffany Peterson Barker, and Tiffany Peterson Barker's sister Natalie was Phil Lyman's lieutenant governor candidate.
Oh my God.
So it's like the woman who provided this video, her mom provided, not the video, but the woman who provided this photo has a daughter whose sister was part of the lieutenant. You know what I mean? Like Phil Lyman's connections here. And
just way too much.
And so that Tiffany Peterson Barker, she was the first witness to be interviewed, one of the first witnesses to be interviewed on Good Morning America. And she had a prime spot with her nieces at 4 a.m.
Right.
And I know Nino Rodriguez interviewed Phil Lyman about this and was like asking him, did you set up that interview? Right.
Like he's on every platform.
Yeah. You're right. This guy, Phil Lyman, he's making his rounds. He's going on to different shows.
3.5, 4 weeks after the incident, it's almost like, we need to throw another curveball out this week. So let's, I really don't understand, like down the road, how anybody could think that any of this makes any sense.
Right. Well,
any of it.
So here is the interview.
Now by Tiffany Barker and her.
Sorry.
Now by Tiffany.
So here is the interview of Tiffany Barker on Good Morning America. And I guess this was super late. I mean, or super early. This was like 4 a.m. and you're bringing these two kids down. I mean, these are some young kids. So this is like on 9/11, the morning of or after the shooting here, right? So here we go.
Right.
Tiffany Barker and her nieces Elle Steele and Mia Grant, who were all in the audience yesterday afternoon. Thank you for joining us this morning. I know it's been a difficult day for all of you right now. And Tiffany, let me begin with you. Just tell us what you remember about the scene yesterday.
It was horrific. There was one shot that rang out, and everybody instantly looked around and then fell to the ground. People saw Charlie instantly get shot in the neck, and everybody fell to the ground, and then people started running and got run over. And I was with my family. We had 16 of us there, so 5 adults and like 11 children. And we instantly got separated. We're trying to find everybody, and we had amazing Good Samaritans that grabbed kids. One took my niece and took her to her apartment. Somebody grabbed these 2 and my daughter and took them over to the tennis courts and stayed with them till I came. It was a super awful tragedy, and there were really good people that stood up and supported each other, and it was actually really powerful to see that.
Elle and me, I can't imagine how scared you must have been yesterday. What can you tell us about what you all remember? Elle, you go first.
So I remember hearing this thing. It was hard to know what it was, but then I saw it, and I saw blood everywhere, and it hit his artery, and then I fell to the ground. I covered my head with my hands, and then I just started saying a prayer, and then we all ran. We sprinted away, and we ran away and then we met at the tennis courts, and we couldn't find anyone. It was just me, Mia, and then my other cousin Bella, and then we were calling everyone. We didn't know what to do, and then we finally met up with them, and it was just so scary.
I'm sure. Mia?
I remember that we were 15 feet away, and I thought the shot was a firecracker or something. It just didn't seem real. After that, we went behind where Charlie Kirk was, and then we were meeting up at the tennis courts and trying to find everyone and get everyone together. And Charlie Kirk was such a good guy. I'm gonna miss him so much. I've always watched all of his videos, and
I can't imagine what you all went through.
America's gonna miss Charlie Kirk.
Can't imagine what you went through yesterday. Thanks for sharing your stories this morning.
Yeah. So that was...
Good Lord.
I mean, I'm just saying, everything seems so well planned out, well scripted. Hey, let's get the Lyman family down there to give the feed the cameras to Good Morning America.
They're actors. They're reciting lines. None of that. That's not how any kids would speak. I was here. I heard it. It hit the artery. They're all over. I don't know. No, sorry. We had a buzzer. No, sorry. And the chat saying the same thing, being those kids are just reading off a script that they've memorized.
Right. They
just look so uncomfortable being there. I'm no.
Well, it's how did they get there? And so I want you to listen to Nino talking to Phil Lyman, because he asked him about this. He goes did you set up that interview with Tiffany, whatever her name is? Right. Because that's one of the big things is Phil Lyman, this is all coming back to you, man. You even said it on the Fox News clip, all these connections are just coming back. It's just hard to believe. Yeah, it is hard to believe. That doesn't just happen naturally, dude. What's going on here?
I was in control of everything there, according to Candace, but and I threw that.
Did you have a connection to put in Tiffany Peterson Barker? You had a connection. You put her on Good Morning America.
So let me put it this way: Tiffany and her sister Natalie, who is my lieutenant governor candidate, and Stephanie, the 3 sisters, Peterson sisters, they were there. Their mother was there. And about 13 kids, the oldest one being 14 or 15 years old. And those kids were right down front. They got there early. They had several of them had sung at Charlie Kirk events in the past. They were hoping, to say hello to him again, and they feel a connection. They were really close. And these are young kids, old enough to have a cell phone and old enough to be taping Charlie Kirk when he was shot. And their mothers are there. I was there, and it was traumatic for me. I'm trying to process this, but if I'd have had, 3 or 4 of my children there, young children, believe me, it would be a lot harder to process. And so that's what we're talking about here with Tiffany. And so then because right off the bat, I don't know of another politician that was there, if I want to call myself a politician, but I was there, and I was with Charlie, And right off the bat, I started getting calls. And as soon as they said, yeah, I was there, I talked to Charlie just before, then, okay, now that's going out. And Good Morning America.
So you started getting inundated and flooded with calls once people found out you were there.
Flooded with calls, yeah.
Okay, and then you were kind of like, hey, Tiffany, you want to go on this Good Morning America spot or what?
Yeah, so Good Morning America.
See, like, I don't like how Nino just feeds him the answer there, but listen to...
I was just about to say that, yeah.
Right, but listen to what Phil says.
I was actually over at the Petersons' house, who live there in Orem. A lot of times I'll stay there at their parents' house. They've got a nice basement, and I can stay. And I think I stayed there that night. But so
maybe
either way, I went over to the Petersons' house. The sisters are there, a bunch of the kids are there. I walked in, and some of those little girls said, "I saw this happen," and they were explaining in detail. And I thought, you haven't processed yet what's going on. I haven't processed yet what's going on. And then Good Morning America calls and says, hey, would like to do an interview with you. Were you there? And I said, yeah, I was there. And they said, were you close to Charlie when he was shot? And I said, no, I wasn't. But I said, there were a lot of children there, a lot of kids there. And I said, did you have children there? I said, no, I didn't. They said, do you know somebody that did? And I just, and it was probably a foolish thing to do, but they were very polite. And Natalie, my lieutenant governor, was sitting, Lieutenant Governor candidate. And I said, hey, do you want to talk to Good Morning America? And she was like, oh, I don't know. And then finally she said, okay. And then they had a really nice conversation and decided, yeah, let's do this. And Good Morning America was going to come to the house the next morning, film this little segment of talking to the moms and their children. And then kind of at the last minute, they said, hey, can you just meet us over at the campus? So Candace likes to say, oh, what mother would take her children back to the scene of the crime with the shooter still at large at 4 a.m. and, just horrible, horrible mother. And then it's like, and Phil Lyman is the one that gave her the position and has all these connections. But it's very natural that the people that are there that witness this would be, of interest to news media. Say, well, let's talk to people who are there, which was Tiffany and her girls, and I thought they did a really good job. And they talked about it.
Where were they at during the shooting?
They were probably. One of the girls said we were 15 feet from Charlie.
Are they traumatized?
Oh,
okay. Yeah, we don't have to get into that. But like, did you hear what he was saying? He was like, he stays at the Petersons' house. So like his, what is this? The lieutenant governor, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So he stays at their house, and apparently there's a basement down there. There's a nice basement. He gets to stay down there, whatever, right? Like whatever. If there's a friend's house, whatever, I get it. But like, he starts getting all these calls, and they ask him, hey, were you there? Can you get on an interview? Why doesn't he just say, yeah?
Yeah.
Like, because, and I guess like they are still like feeding you. They're like, hey, were you there? Were you like next to Charlie when he got shot? And he's like, no, but these kids were? What?
And they're very composed for what they saw. Like very composed.
But my point is like, why are you bringing in the kids into the conversation, dude? Like,
because kids tug at our hearts, right?
GMA wanted kids, yeah.
That's what I mean, right? This whole psyop is to target Christians. They're tugging on the hearts of Christians, not just right, conservative or MAGA. It's just like bring the kids in.
Yeah. So I just found that was very odd, and then just like. The skirting around of like you're jumping from you, then you're going to Natalie, it's Tiffany's sister, your ex-lieutenant governor or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then how does Tiffany then say, actually, Natalie, I'll go instead of you, because they were supposed to come to our house and now you're getting sent out of your house at 4 a.m. and you're going to bring your young children with you. I guess. So
who didn't look like they really wanted to be there. Maybe because just the time, 4 a.m. for sure. But I'm kind of like,
so it's just this whole thing is involving his family so far, right?
It's a lot,
right? And then
and it's been 3 weeks, and like all of a sudden we're hearing about him. So it's just like, Yeah, let's use this dude over here who looks like he hasn't slept in days. Let's put out a couple stories. Let's have him run around on different social media and TV outlets and say his piece. And I'm like, all right, sure.
Yep.
We're still gonna look at other stuff too, but it's like, look here, look here, look here.
And then, dude, it doesn't even stop there. You guys remember? You remember George Zinn, this man?
Poor George. Yes.
Poor George. This guy is like op on op. He is in. So
no, I meant the guy who lives in Canada who his name was taken.
Oh yeah. That's right.
Remember?
That's
so
right.
that guy.
Yeah, I remember that. If anybody doesn't really remember, there was a guy who like they claimed it was this man. It was not, and they were throwing out his name. Yeah. Ooh, it was messy. But like George Zinn. Yeah, George Zinn is the patsy who's like the decoy boy. He said, it's me. Like he falls down. He starts like his pants fall down. I don't know if you saw this, but like
I did.
Candace Owens was like analyzing the footage and his pants fall down. Like, what's your pants doing undone, bro?
Yeah. Like who pulled you? Who pantsed you?
Yeah.
What's going on?
So like he starts saying like, hey, it's me. And arrest me. And then as he's getting arrested and he's walking by people, he's saying, shoot me. Right? Yeah. So he's drawing attention to himself, making, all of these people look at him while the real killer gets away. Right?
Does he have ties to 9/11, this guy as well?
Yeah, dude. And so that's the thing is like he appeared in a movie called Memoirs of 9/11. This is like this video. He committed a terrorist threat shortly after the Boston bombing. So he was like caught in email communications, like saying he wanted to plant bombs places. This was like right after the Boston bomb. And then this is one that was just floating around. Hold on a second. Let's see if I can find it. He was at the frickin' Kobe Bryant funeral, dude. Or they not the funeral, but the
accident?
The trial. He was at the trial. And I was like, are you serious? So this guy is now, and people are just making fun of this. They're like, dude, this guy's going to be like in the moon landing. The next thing we see this guy, But yeah, he was actually at the trial of Kobe Bryant. And I'm like, what? Like, no, there's no way.
What trial was that? I don't remember there being what was the trial for?
Let's see here. Probably like the grape case.
Oh yes, right.
So this is in 2003. Kobe Bryant, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, trial for the grape word there, so you can see that. But in this article, a handful of people lined up the courthouse to get passes for the hearing. Among them was George Zinn of Salt Lake City, who arrived on a Greyhound bus to watch the spectacle.
George just knows how to get his ass to everything. Good for him.
I don't consider Kobe a role model, he said. You don't say. So, nonetheless, George Zinn, he has an excerpt for like promoting Phil Lyman on Phil Lyman's website. So on Phil Lyman's website, and I don't know if the link is still up, you have like this promotion from George Zinn talking up Phil Lyman, saying rare to find a more caring man with uncompromising goals to make Utah great for generations than Phil Lyman. Not a politician who can be pampered. Phil has knowledge of urban and rural Utah from every corner and community. Utah is in desperate need of true leadership and representation. And Phil has the passion and values to be a great governor, blah, blah, blah. He needs our support. And I guess there was only 20 of these things on his website, and George Zinn was one of them. Out of 20 people?
Wow. Those are pretty low odds.
What are the odds, people?
Dun, dun, dun.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like you have, how many connections to Phil Lyman do we have here? You have the original Patsy, right? You have the original video
I think
footage.
we're up to half a dozen easily right now.
Right. And so like, I'm just like,
how many, and this is a question for people in the chat, because this goes for anything. How many things have to happen for it not to be a coincidence? After 3, after 2? Well, they always say when it's mathematically impossible. But like for me, I would say after 3, 2.5. I'm a 2.5 or 3. I'm like, no. So what would you say, Greg? For
I mean, it takes a special spidey sense too. It can't just be like, oh, okay, yeah, I can see how you have to take into account a lot of different things. And like a special case like this, where you have a high profile assassination of a political person, and then all of a sudden you see all of these ties of the evidence is tied to Phil Lyman.
One guy who's doing the rounds.
Yeah.
You know, but I would say 2.5 to 3. I'm like, okay, you've lost me here. So we're at half a dozen with this dude already. Easily.
Yeah. And so this is where it kind of gets into Phil Lyman's nephew. And his nephew, Candace Owens, was investigating him, went onto his Instagram, and I have like a video clip of that, but like it's pretty interesting that he started doing like his own kind of investigation, not really, but like going through and doing a walkthrough of where the shooter walked through, like I guess it went through his grandma's house or something in this back trail, and they found
trail area.
They found a mud footprint of the Converse that Tyler Robinson was wearing, right? So convenient. They're finding all this evidence, right? So I'm going to get this video loaded up here.
We need a so convenient button, a sound button. You know, we need whoop.
Yeah, we need to like what are the
this
odds?
week I've been doing my own.
What are the odds
off
button?
piece.
That is not it. Here, hold on a second. All right, so I'm going to play this video here real quick for you guys, right?
Someone just messaged us and said, hey, like you should probably ask more questions about Phil Lyman, because every time I look into this investigation locally, him and his family members are popping up. And then that person tells me that his nephew had sort of done this public tour, like Phil Lyman's nephew did this public tour saying that he was going to walk the same route that the shooter walked near his grandmother's house, and that they found, you guys remember this, they found the Converse footprint nearby his grandma's house. And he presented a map. Like, this is it. This is actually from his Instagram. He presents this map, and his nephew's name is Shane. And this was all public. I'm only looking at things publicly. And let's just look at some of these posts from nephew Shane. I mean, first and foremost, he's with his friends. Said, I took my friends to my grandma's house tonight, and we retraced his steps, and we took pictures in the exact place that the security cameras caught him. I've been through this new experience for the last few days. I'm still very glad to have attended and to support Charlie Kirk and to see him. The last pic shows Converse brand footprints. And then he does hashtags, and here are him and the 3 friends. And by the way, I'm looking at the front on the right, and I'm like,
this guy.
I don't know. I'd like to know who that is at the very least. And I'd like to know who everybody in this photo is. This is just interesting. Like, you guys are in the staircase and posting side by sides. Like, they put these side by side photos of them in the staircase. And I just was like, I need to just know more about you. And I need to know more about these 2 individuals who I couldn't find on his friends list. And
she's implying that this guy in the blue hat is this guy, the guy in the black shirt. So the original photo that the FBI released of the guy in the black shirt is Phil Lyman's nephew's friend.
Jesus.
That's what she's implying.
We need a flow chart to keep track of this shit with this guy. Holy cow.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, I'm just like surprised that she's making all these connections, but like, am I surprised? I don't know. Is she connected?
Like, I think the guy in the blue hat looks like he's carrying more muscle mass than the guy wearing black, just from looking at the photos. But again, it's just the ties to this one dude out of nowhere. Like, this is our 4th video or live on this, and all of a sudden he's dominated like the whole show because he's got so many connections with this.
Yeah. Well, and it's all about him and his family. And it's like, how many people does it take to coordinate this kind of thing, right?
That is a good point. That's a good point.
And so she reached out to this guy. His name's like Shane Broderick, right? The guy, the nephew. Candace Owen reached out to him, and he wipes his internet or his Instagram. completely deletes everything, not just makes it private. He made it private, but then he deleted it. Like, you can't even find that name. I mean, he might have just changed his name or something, but so like Shaner, whatever, isn't it? It's Shaner Broderick or something. He like apparently he was a political science major moving from DC to intern for Senator Mike Lee of Utah. So he's trying to get into politics as well, right? And so like it would make sense for him to kind of be like, hey, we got to delete this stuff. But like, why even go through and make videos and do things yourself? And it's just very strange.
Yeah, very strange.
So he before he deleted everything, they went through and they grabbed all this stuff off of his account. And one of the videos was of him. And he like walked down this trail. And I actually have it here. I can just pull it up. But he walks down this trail. And in this video, Candace Owens points out that you hear a woman talking in the background. That's the aunt. That is the nephew's mom, I think, right?
Right.
And she says something about, you see, the assassin had a woman walking with him, and I wonder if she's an accomplice. Oh, you're recording. And so she brings up that whoever the shooter was walking with a woman. Wasn't just one person. So, right, like the story that we've been fed by the FBI is that it's a lone gunman. He just did his own thing. We've only seen footage of that. But according to Candace Owens, there's ring cams all along this road. And I would believe that, right? If the cousin has a ring cam capturing this, auntie's got a ring cam, grandma's probably got a ring cam. Like, show us the extra ring cam footage around this area. And that's just an assumption. But
that's what I mean. They're very selective to what they show us and edit. And it's always, I know it's grainy because it looked like it was coming from TMZ, but even the copy that TMZ gets, like, these cameras do shoot in 4K. And it's just like, let's just put a little, they take it into CapCut, which is editing software, and they add like a blur to it.
Right.
Sort of like noise or film scratches and something. I'm like, my God, this is 2025. Like, you can film on our phones like movies if you wanted to, because it's 4K.
Well, so here's the video that Shaner Broderick, he posted and he eventually deleted. But this is the one where he's walking, and then you hear the aunt or someone in the background say, the woman that was with him.
About 10 minutes before he walked by. And then I was talking to Mom, and we were doing all this stuff. And then I look out the thing, and there was somebody like right here. But they were just like kind of doing this kind of stuff, not really
Pacing back and forth.
So I sent it to the FBI and said, if there's an accomplice, you know, because the camera from here to here,
it's coming
took
up.
way too long. If you time how long it took him to get from that little part over to here, was way longer than it should have been. So I wondered if the girl had given him stuff. Like, if there is an accomplice. Sorry, you're filming.
And it's said right here.
So did you hear that? Listen to it again. Listen to it.
So I wondered if the girl had given him stuff. Like, if there is an accomplice. Sorry, you're filming.
And it's said.
So I wondered if the girl had given him stuff. If there is an accomplice.
Sorry. There's an accomplice, right?
Right. Here it is again.
Was way longer than it should have been. So I wondered if the girl had given him stuff. Like, if there is an accomplice. Sorry, you're filming.
And it's.
What girl? Right?
Yeah.
Like, who's the girl? What are you talking about? Like, a girl had given him stuff? An accomplice? Like, who are you talking about, lady?
Yeah. Huh. Who is she talking about?
And so that's where Candace Owens is kind of going deeper and finding out, I think, who that girl is. And, you know, the guy in the blue hat, she kind of finds out more about him, too. And supposedly she's going to go over that guy on Monday. And supposedly he's from Washington, either state or Washington, D.C. She just said Washington. But she thinks that it's like a completely made up profile because she hasn't heard anything from this guy. And she's like, our tip lines get flooded every day, every hour. And she's like, I have nothing on this man. She's like, that just doesn't happen. So I think that it's a fake like nom de plume that they gave this guy. Don't know, right? And dude, and so like that's kind of like the ties with Phil Lyman up to this point, and then it brings in somebody we talked about, Flex, on the very first show that you came on here. This was a while ago.
Ooh.
But
the way back throwback. You got me attention. I'm perking up right now. I'm like, ooh, someone I talked about. Give me a hint.
Well, so
did
let's,
I talk about it or did you talk about it? Because I talk a lot of stuff.
So
I don't remember half the shit I say. Yeah.
Here, I'm just gonna play this video of Candace Owens. She can like talk about it, and then we can talk about it because it's like, what are the odds that this person comes popping into this conversation here?
And was doing. I am told, according to a very strong source, that was what Phil Lyman was doing in town on Saturday was he was meeting with Tim Ballard.
What?
That's totally random. Did not expect to hear that. Tim Ballard, if you're not familiar with him, is formerly of Operation Underground Railroad, which is a charity that is dedicated to helping to stop human sex trafficking. I even remember, by the way, when we were all speaking about that plane transponder that turned off, that the individuals that owned that plane were wearing an Operation Underground Railroad t-shirt.
Did you hear that?
Wow.
So you guys remember that plane?
Yep.
That mystery plane that turned off its transponder for like 33 minutes? Remember that shit?
And it was flying to Arizona? Is that where it was supposed to go?
Dude. So like this is that N888KG. It leaves abruptly after the Kirk assassination, turns off its transponder illegally. Apparently, this was like the very first flight of this plane the whole year. Right? Provo Regional Airport is 5 miles from Utah Valley University. Assassination was at 1810. Or not 1810. Was it at 1810? This, whatever time this was. Takeoff was at 1912. Illegally turned off at 1944. Dead Man's Hand variant, the most famous Dead Man's Hand, something. I don't know what that is. That's some weird gobbledygook. But I'm just saying, dude, Tim Ballard is a fraud. He's a straight up fraud.
Yeah.
That man sold everybody, and evangelicals and like MAGA Republicans sold him a lie, made him spend a shitload of money on the Sound of Freedom. And for what? What's come of it? Like, yeah, you brought it up to light. And, you know, that's the argument. It's like, well, he's bringing it to light. He's bringing the conversation up. Okay, what are you going to do about it? And not only that, but are you being paid by the people that are making it worse? Right? Angel Studios, look into that whole drama. You guys can go watch that episode that Flex and I did.
The guy that owns it, part of the cartel. I mean,
supposedly.
Yeah. Supposedly,
for
right? For entertainment purposes only, so we don't get flagged.
Yeah. And so I'm just saying, like, what if this guy, and like apparently they're trying to connect these two guys together, like this gothic character with the friend. But what if he jumped on a plane, dude? Right?
The shooter.
Yeah. And they're talking, she's like talking about military ops. She's talking about Ukraine. She's talking about like Azov battalion.
But do we really think he was shot from that far of a distance with that gun? That's what I mean. Like that gun would have done more damage.
No.
So it's like,
it was something else.
Why is he trying to escape? You know, if he didn't do it, I think obviously to distract us from something. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. Or did that plane say it was going to Arizona, but it was going to Valhalla?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
You know
like
what I
is
mean?
Charlie Kirk still alive and he's just in Valhalla just chilling, bro?
We have the watch now, Charlie C in Valhalla. I'm like, that's a lot. I don't even know what that means. We got the watch.
Right.
All right.
Apparently that's something that they say. I don't know.
Is it?
Something else that I didn't know about was there was this other aircraft that loitered in the visible range of Charlie Kirk's assassination while it happened. So these are just like some strange posts, people. I haven't like verified this at all, but its flight from Briggs Army Airfield to Glacier Park International Airport deviated just in the time window. This is aircraft N1098L Bombardier Global 6500, whatever, blah, blah, right? And then you see the trajectory just kind of doing its thing around Provo. I don't know. But like, what are the damn odds?
Yeah.
That like Lyman, this all goes back to Lyman, man. Like,
we're up to about a dozen stuff with this dude.
Right. And the fact that he was there to meet with Tim Ballard of all scum. You know what I mean? Like the scum of scum. Like, damn, dude, like that says a lot about your character, but I guess like, who knows? I don't know. I don't know what they're trying to do. Just because you're talking to somebody who's a scumbag doesn't mean that like you're necessarily friends with a scumbag, but I mean,
that's true.
Birds of a feather.
Just ask Trump and Epstein. You know what I mean?
And Bill Gates, right? Bill Gates is always at the White House.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, dude, like there is a lot going on right now. And then Tim Ballard is doing some heavy stuff with the tiny hat country, right? So the people who wear the tiny hats. So he's
for a moment there, I was like, tiny hat. Sorry, I drew a blank.
Oh yeah.
I was like, what's he baseball? I'm talking like birthday hats, and then like, no, you schmuck.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
You're getting
Sorry,
it.
it's Friday. It's been a long week.
So yeah, he's come out saying that there's going to be another Operation Milestone, and so people are like, what is this? Like,
what does that even mean?
What is Operation Milestone? And he's like saying more to come. So I don't know.
So sorry, Tim is saying they're doing an Operation Milestone and there's more to come?
Yes. So Tim Ballard, he did Operation Underground Railroad, right?
Yeah.
And the people on that plane that illegally turned off its transponder were wearing Operation Underground Railroad. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that they were tied to that, right? They could just be wearing it because they're fans or whatever, right? But still, like, what are the odds? What are the odds, people?
What are the odds?
What are the odds? So yeah, what do you think, Flex?
Well, I don't know why I sound like I'm surprised, because I shouldn't be. I'm surprised it's still going on this long with more things that don't make sense. It's not like, it's still going on with the stuff we're talking about, but the fact that this guy, after 3.5, 4 weeks or 3 weeks, has come out and he's literally dominated a whole show. We did a whole show on this one guy, because literally it was probably close to 10, 11, 12 different coincidences.
Yeah.
Like I said, after 2 or 3, I'm kind of like, I'm tapping out going like, no, there's not a coincidence now, you know? And he's making the rounds with everything. But again, there's just so much going on in the States with the government shutdown, the church that the car got run into and they got shut up, someone getting shot, someone shooting people from a boat.
Yep.
On the patio. This has all happened since last Friday till now.
Yeah.
So if and when we decide to go 2 days a week, we can get to the stuff quicker, because it's changing literally as we press end on this. There's like, oh God, this just came out.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we'll definitely get there. Kids' sports is getting in the way, but hey, it's bound to happen. But yeah, that's everybody. I think that's. I think we're good now, but we're probably going to call it a show. Hopefully you guys like the episode. If you do, hit the like button, spam the like button, and share it. Do all that stuff. We're over on audio too, so make sure you go over there and subscribe and download. That helps us out even more, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on this Charlie Kirk stuff. Candace Owens is coming out more about this blue hat guy on Monday.
Yeah.
I don't know what
and
she's
funny.
got.
It's funny that no one's really talking about that Diddy only got 5 years.
I know, right?
So is this a distraction from Diddy? I don't know. I don't know.
It's always a distraction. It's what this world is made for. So anyway.
It's true.
Thank you, everybody in the chat, for coming. Flex, you stay safe up there in Canada. Everybody else, see you next week. Stay steamy.